Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Merry whatever, Christmas Eve, Happy New Year, Advent, whatever it is you're celebrating. My creative friends, I just wanted to wish you all the very, very best. I have not filmed a video since before Thanksgiving, so I'm just kind of including all the holidays in one. And I didn't want the end of the year to go by without giving you an update, telling you where I'm at. Thank you for those who have checked up on me. I'll share a little bit more about what's been going on with me later in the video, but I just wanted to hop on here, do a modified Flosstube video. I'm not going to share all of my whips and all of my finishes and all of those things because I'm going to film a couple more videos, and I'm going to do a whip parade of all of the cross stitch patterns I have in progress, so I can see where I end up with my whips in 2021. I also want to do one with all of my finishes for 2021. I have not added it all up to see where I am at, but I want to film those two videos kind of as a record for myself as well. But I wanted to come on here and do a Flosstube video because there's something I'm planning on doing in 2022 that I want to share with you in case you wanted to also do it. You have until December 31st at 11:59 p.m. to sign up if you want to do that particular challenge I'm going to do. As far as everything else for 2022, I will save that for another video, possibly at the end of my whip parade, or maybe just my first regular Flosstube video in January. We'll see what happens. I also wanted to show where I ended up with WIPGO. If you've been following me throughout the year, you know that WIPGO is the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I feel like my hair's sticking up. Here on YouTube and on Facebook, she has a Facebook challenge group. You can join in over there. That is very open. I just want to share this. For Christmas, both of my sons got me rose gold necklaces. This cross, I just love it. It's so pretty and dainty. My son Michael got this for me. He has a cross that he keeps in his car on his rear view mirror, and he has since he first started driving. And it's just, I know that the cross doesn't necessarily protect him, but it's a symbol of that protection that the Lord gives us. And then this one here, it's a rose gold heart with diamond. I don't know if they're real diamonds, but diamond is my birthstone. And then it's got a purple stone in the center, and it says, I will love you for always and forever. And this is for my son Tyler. My son Tyler is or has applied to be an Air Force officer. He wants to be a pilot, and so he's going through that process. And he said, I can't tell you how many times I cried Christmas morning. He said, this is for you when I'm gone, so you can remember that I love you, or you can know that I love you, not remember. It's not like I'll forget. But yeah, it's so, both of them are so precious. So Michael got this for me to put in my car so that my car and his car could match, but I just love it, and I'm having a hard time putting it in the car because I just want to wear it. I'm not driving right now. It is snowed in. We had such a big snowstorm for our area. It's the temperature today is supposed to be a high of 24. We woke up Christmas morning to about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow. It kept snowing through, and I think it would stop off and on, but then, cause it stopped in the morning, but it started again in the afternoon. It just kept on all afternoon. So we were at like 5 or 6 inches by Christmas night. And then yesterday, Sunday, today is Monday, by the way, December 27th, 2021. I'm out of practice. By Sunday night, we had 10 to 12 inches of snow. And the dogs have been loving it. They have just been having a blast. I don't drive in the snow if I can avoid it. If there's more than a couple of inches, and I really don't drive it in the condition we have now, where it was really wet. It rained all last week. The roads are wet. Everything is just so damp. And then you have the snow starting on top, and then it freezes and it hardens and it gets super slick. So, and we do have a truck, but I'll let my husband drive me around in the 4-wheel drive. I've got the groceries I need. I'm just staying at home, staying put. Yeah, but my cute little car that I drive all summer, fall, winter, spring, not winter, fall into, or I should say spring into fall. This will go on my cute little car. So, which has, it's funny, it's a red car, but if you lift up the hood, it's rose gold underneath. That's the undertones, like that pink color. So that's why he got me that. Anyways, hope that didn't bore you. It's so different having adult children, and it is a joy. It is fun to see how excited they get and how thoughtful they were and the gifts they gave to each other. They just really paid attention, and I don't know, just seeing their excitement and joy in a new way. It's fun when they're little. It's a lot of fun when they're little, but there is a pure joy as they get older. So that's enough about my family. Let me jump into WIPGO. Like I was starting to say, Jessie Marie does stuff. She has a video on YouTube. So if you're not familiar, I will link Jessie Marie down below, but look up, she has, it's just in the last month, I think, she has videos specifically on WIPGO. I think WIPGO 2022 is what she called it, something like that. And you can get all the information, but it's basically like bingo for your WIPs. So I wanted to show you a couple of things, then I'll show you my progress. This is the board that I started with, and I had like a system. This is keeping track of everything for me. So I also, except for what the actual goal is, the actual goal I have written down in here for each of the numbers called. But my system for this board was, when the number was called, I outlined it in just a pink pen. When I completed the goal, I highlighted it in that blue. And then when I completely finished the project, and it might be in more than one square, but when I completely finished the project, I blacked it all the way out, because that means that one's done. Because throughout the year, as I would complete a goal or complete a project, on the Wednesdays, I would pull out a different WIP and keep working on it, trying to get, I mean, the goal is to get all of our WIPs to finish eventually, right? So that was kind of my goal there. But I like my second one better, because my second one, I just highlighted when I met the goals for the month that the number was called. Oh, you know, well, I met them all in the month they were called. Can't believe I did that. But this is my WIPGO bingo board. When you look at it as just the goals, I have a complete blackout, y'all. It was challenging at times, and there were times I didn't think I would make it, but look at that. Now, if we go back to this, and this is available in her Facebook group, you can print it out and put your own in, or you can make up your own spreadsheet or just write it on a piece of paper. If I complete, because I'm pretty close to completing Quaker Snowflakes, like if I dug in and finished that, I could mark off at least 2 more boxes. And the other one that that's probably the only one. I mean, there's less than a week left, and there's other things I want to do. So this will not be a complete blackout. Taught me a lot. I'll share more about that in a future video, but I just wanted to celebrate for a second. Total blackout. I would love it if this was a screenshot that was captured by YouTube. Probably won't be though. Okay, so for November, because I haven't posted since before Thanksgiving, the 2 that were called were Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Mathews. So I'll show that one. And the other one was Home for Christmas, I think by Little Dove Designs. So this is Quaker Snowflakes. I am doing mine in this colorway here with silks. And I kind of got stumped. I had to take things out. I messed up on my counting so many times that I finally just I just put it away. I just couldn't do it anymore. But I am so close to a finish, you guys. So this is where I am at. I have to do the words glad tidings. I've got 3 more trees and all the trunks to do. That flower with the urns. I have done the flowers twice now and I do not like them. So I'm going to go look through my silks. You know, I'm in the Silk of the Month club from Bestitch Me. So I'm going to go ahead and look through there, see if I can find something I want for the flower, because I want to do the bird kind of like a cardinal. I want to do it blue. Yeah, so I just changed. I did change the color of the silk. If you're interested, you can let me know and I will share that. But since I'm still not quite 100% sure what I'm doing on that bottom there, this will probably carry over till next year. I've got one more thing I'm working on finishing today, and then I might pull this out again. I'm not 100% sure, but that is Quaker Snowflakes. My goal was to get all the big snowflakes done. And I did that. I got all the small and medium ones done as well, down to that bottom tree section. So that was good progress. It's close enough that when I get inspired by it, you know, a couple more, I mean, it'll take more than one session, but when I get into a groove of wanting to stitch on something for a few days, a couple more times like that, and it should be done. So this was the other one. Oops, it's upside down. Home for Christmas by Little Dove Designs. My goal was to get the snowflake border done. I did that, plus I believe the inner and outer border and some of the little red doohickeys. And then I wanted to see more color, so I worked on the house. So this is Home for Christmas. This is another one that it's obviously not completely done. If things had gone as planned for November and December, this would have probably been done. Same with Quaker Snowflakes and several of my other things, but such is life. At least I met my WIPGO goal. If you decide to do WIPGO, one of the things I highly recommend is make the goals achievable. Because if you make them achievable, you want it to challenge you, because you want to pick it up and challenge you, but you want it to be achievable, and you can always add to it. Like once you've met your goal, it's motivated to keep working on it. If you've met your goal and this is a piece you really don't feel like working on, you can put it away knowing that you met your goal for the year. That's just my little bit of advice. Okay, so for December, the last 2 numbers called were, I think it was work on any country cottage needleworks design, and then votes for women. So this is my country cottage needleworks. I pulled out Snowflake Serenade, and the goal was to get 1 block or 1 small finished, and I had actually done several smalls throughout the year, so I could have just said this was done, but this one was so close I decided to pull it out. I had 3 boxes that still needed something to work. It's called, did I say it's Snowflake Serenade by Country Cottage Needleworks? So the goal would have been to do like 1 of these blocks, and I had 3 blocks that just needed a little bit more. So I ended up finishing the whole thing. And I need to find out what this fabric is. This was I really enjoyed stitching on this fabric. Okay. So this is Snowflake Serenade. It's gonna look so good. It'll look good in here. And even though it says Jingle Bells and White Christmas, this is something that once I do get it fully finished, I will probably leave it up all through January. It's hard to show. Let me show you from the top to bottom. Did I get it all in? Okay. So that is my snowflake. I keep wanting to call it White Christmas, but that's not what it is. I'm pretty sure I used all of the called for colors in this. I love the colors. Why would I change them? And then my last WIPGO piece, This is Votes for Women. I started it for the 100th year of all women in the US getting the right to vote. And so I have changed, or I am changing some of the colors, especially on their dresses. Yeah. This would have more progress, but I kept counting wrong, or I would miss. I went over 3 threads instead of 2, or I went over 1 instead of 2. So I had to rip it out and do it again, rip it out and do it again. It's like it would match up if I hadn't made that mistake in the middle, of course, of the border. But this is where I am. The goal is to do it for 4 hours, so I at least met that. I think I've exceeded that. And I've started on the first woman. Yeah. I think the color that they call for her face is lamb's wool, which is kind of a yellowy or a cream yellow color, and it's kind of not showing up well on this. I am thinking about doing a different skin tone in each of these colors because women were granted the right to vote in 1920. So 2020 was the 100th year. And I know that in the South, there were still some places that would not allow people of color to vote, or at least women of color to vote. And so that changed, I think, in the 1960s, before I was born. But here on the West Coast where I live, they would have been able or allowed to vote. And so, and legally they were, just because people were not following the law, making their own laws. Okay, I won't get into that political stuff. But, and I didn't know, you don't know what you don't know, or you don't remember. But I still think it would be okay to do more than just that yellowy cream skin. We'll see what I come up with. I might change that skin tone out too, because it's a weird color on the fabric that I chose. And I've said this before, and you probably know if you're a cross stitcher, the color of fabric you use can totally change the way the floss colors that are called for look. So you might have to change it as you go along. So there's one more thing I'm going to show you, and it's basically the only haul I think I have to show you. But let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with me, and then I'll show you my last piece. So as you probably can guess, the Thursday before Thanksgiving, I couldn't taste my dinner. That gives you a big hint. The Friday before Thanksgiving, the next day, my husband had like a scratchy throat, and his boss said, you should go take a test. And he goes, I don't have any of the symptoms. I just have kind of a scratchy throat and a headache, I think, or how he's feeling. Go take a test. And, we both had the shot. So he was thinking, there's no way I have. Well, he tested positive. I then took the test. I tested negative. I ended up testing with the home test, I think 3 times total throughout this, and they all came back negative. The test came back positive 5 days before he was eligible, or we were eligible for a booster, because we got it on the same day. So I'm only sharing this, and I debated back and forth, should I share, should I not share? But I think having the truth and having information is really, really important. So I had more of a reaction to the vaccine than he did. He had I would say worse symptoms than I did. However, mine lasted longer with both. So he just had one day where it was a little bit scary, but other than that, we were able to just take things that we could get over the counter. We were in contact with our doctor, who's wonderful, but one time he goes, I'm struggling to breathe. And I watched him for the next hour, and just the regular NyQuil, DayQuil, whatever it was he was taking, worked really well for him, and he was fine after that. We both still have, I'm struggling to breathe sometimes, and I feel like I have constant asthma. It feels very tight, but it's not like a big deep cough or cold. It's weird. It's weird. The biggest thing, we both lost our sense of taste and smell, so Thanksgiving didn't. I could taste the green bean casserole. That was the only thing, and kind of a salty taste. My sense of taste did start coming back before his, but I think I lost mine before his. I was thinking I drink water with Crystal Light in it, and the Crystal Light, it just didn't, I don't know if you've ever had those kind of box drinks that, you know, the little powder packets. Some are more flavorful than others. So I was just thinking, I just got a bum box. I mean, sometimes I'll get a box and the packets in there are like hardened because they didn't get sealed correctly. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm not really tasting the Crystal Light that much. It tastes kind of blah, but I thought it was just a bad box of it. So I don't know how long I'd been having that particular symptom. But the night before my husband tested positive, I had chicken and rice for dinner. I'm like, this tastes like nothing. This is like the blandest chicken I have ever bought. And I had put onion soup mix on it, and usually you can taste that. If nothing else, it tasted like nothing. And I still didn't connect the dots because, you know, we'd been vaccinated and we weren't, I mean, I wasn't coughing, I wasn't any of those things. Slight headache, I guess. But then the fatigue set in. And that, between the shortness of breath and the struggling to breathe and the fatigue, like it's a tired that sleep doesn't cure. Now, the one thing is we both slept better than we've ever slept while being sick. That's been nice. Was taking a nap every single day. I just couldn't hardly do anything, including stitching. And so that's why I haven't been on. It's the fatigue. Even just doing this video, it's like, can I do this? I cannot do an hour-long video. My chest hurts, and it's an upper for me. And my throat there's a tightness. And so shopping's been very difficult. Didn't do a lot. We shopped online where we could, but even like going to the grocery store, I would send the kids. Even when the symptoms were gone, and like I said, I never tested positive. So I've now learned that if you have been vaccinated, what they say, and I'm not a doctor, this is just my personal experience. Talk to your own doctor. I have no information. I don't even know. This might cause YouTube to not show my video, but this is just my personal experience. But I was listening to the news, and they said that if you had the vaccine, you'll probably test negative after 5 days. Like if you're not really showing symptoms after 5 days, I don't know if it means 5 days after the vaccine, 5 days after getting COVID-19, you would test negative fairly. I mean, that was just more often, whereas it'd be like 10 days if you were unvaccinated. Sorry, I'm messing that totally up. But what that means is I may have caught it first, and that's why it was negative when I finally tested. And my husband, because it was about another 5 days, it was actually Thanksgiving Day that my husband lost his sense of taste and smell, or maybe it was the night before. He was so upset. He was so upset to not be able to smell it or taste it. So he had those symptoms after me. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe I caught it first and gave it to him, which makes me feel awful. And I don't know where. It would have to be like the grocery store or something. So anyways, that's our story. That's why I haven't been on very much. I tire very easily. I will have to probably take a nap after this. But I'm hoping to not to. I'm doing much better. Even the last week or two. And I have these videos I want to share with you. So thank you for checking in on me. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. And I think we'll all make it through. There's a part of me that's glad that at least my husband for sure now has natural immunity on top of the vaccine. So, and we're not, since I think we probably both had it, we are not we'll wait for the booster. Anyhow, I think this is going to be like the flu. There'll be different variants of it. You'll have different shots you can take every year to kind of help with the new mutations and variants, but it's here to stay. But thankfully it looks like it's starting to, at least with this last one, get milder symptoms, milder reactions, and neither one of the boys tested positive. So, and you know, actually my son was sick with, we thought it was like a sinus infection. It was a throat nose thing. And so he might have been the one that had it first, but he was better. He was kind of feeling icky on Friday. He took Monday and Tuesday off work and was back to work on Wednesday. So he's fine then. So I don't know. Okay, I hope I haven't lost you guys. I wanted to show you this. I took part in the cookie exchange that, it was a hands-on design thing. Where's my, I don't think that there's any picture other than the finished one. No. So it was called the Cookie Exchange. It was put on by Kathy of Hands-On Design, and it was a mystery stitch along released every other day for like 3 days in early December. Got a little bit of a late start on it, and I got some of the things, but not all the things. These are floss drops that you can print out and do on your own. So I did that. I ordered the fabric. It has still not come in yet, but it was my bad. It was my fault, because I also ordered other fabrics. I just thought that she had them ready to ship, so I ordered them, and apparently she dyes them to order, and I was okay with that. I think it's Fabrics by Stephanie is who it was by. It was somebody I hadn't really had before, so you can see I printed them out. My printer doesn't really like cardstock, but I was able to put it, let's see, it's Stampin' Up! Whisper White, is that what their cardstock? Yeah, it used to be a demonstrator. You'd think I could remember, but I don't. So anyways, I printed them out, and I used most of the called for colors, but she shared a little story. The pattern itself has a table, and she did it with like her kitchen table that has green on the bottom, because of the memories of making the Christmas cookies with her kids. And I thought, oh, this is why I thought about doing the cookie exchange, because we did Christmas cookies, my mom did. Every year my mom made gingerbread and storybook cookies, and some other different ones, but those are the two that us kids really got involved with, and frosted, and you know, you have to make it and then chill it and then roll it and then cookie cutter them out and then wait for them to bake and then cool and then frost. And by the time we were done frosting the cookies, I was always sick because I kept licking my fingers with all the frosting on it. And we did it on a very special table that my grandpa gave my mom. It was an oak table. When I got married, I bought, with the money we got from our wedding, we bought an oak table that was very similar. Just the sentimental value of it. My grandpa passed away when I was in 8th grade. Very, very close to him. He was just, he loved me, you know, and you can't deny, I don't know, not all my grandparents were great at showing love, but this particular one showed me love, and he wasn't even my biological grandfather. I didn't know that at the time, but it didn't matter to him. He loved me, and he loved my mom, and he gave her roses from his rose garden that she still has, that I hope one day to get a graft of and try up here, but I don't know that it will. Climate's different. Anyways, so I had that table that was very similar to Mom's. Mail's here. I had a table, like I said, that was similar to that one of my mom's that my grandpa gave him, and that's what I made the cookies on with my own children. So I changed the table in this to match mine, and I used Be Stitch Me colors to kind of remind me of that oak. Sorry, that was a long story to get to the point of showing you. Oh, I want to show you the back. This is so close to being finished. I have a little bit of light green to add to the mistletoe. And I think I have the bow to do on here. I just watched a YouTube video because it's got lazy daisy stitches. I didn't know how to do that. So I'm going to try and do that, and a little bit of green on the mistletoe underneath. So my table looks like more like that oak table that my mom has. Kathy's, the original design, has green under here, which is really cute too. A couple of other changes. I extended the table out just a little bit to match the other side. So ignore I need to repaint my nails. To match the other side, just to have it look a little more like that round table. It doesn't really, but it's kind of, I thought about recharting it because it just has one leg pedestal in the center, but I really like the mistletoe or holly or whatever that is. So I just left it like it was. The other thing is she has, I think, 3 cookies stacked up. And I got this idea from somebody else in the group. I think it's a hands-on design Facebook group. They did a gingerbread in here. I think that's what they did, or a mitten. So I took this outline to do the gingerbread cookie and put the gingerbread cookie in there and did that underneath. So a couple of color change. Also, the fabric I use is different, so I had to add a different color in and change the colors just slightly on the blue, just so it would show up on my fabric. What was I going to say? Oh, the fabric. The fabric is Sea Glass by Bee Stitch Me. I love this. This is so pretty. And it's, what count is it? 18 count. I think I won this in a Friday night fight night. But here's the entire, it's not showing up great in here. That's probably better. It's not really showing up all the great, but it's just beautiful. So I don't have the hand dyed by Stephanie, but they should be here very, very soon. Hold on. God bless our mail lady, still delivering the mail and driving up the driveway. Today is our garbage day and the garbage trucks are not running. So that just, she's in her little Jeep and she's amazing. I have this is a bag. This is one of my Christmas gifts, kind of, because I ordered 3 bags from DotDotGooseDesigns, which I'll be sharing as I share the project. And so this was almost done before I got the bag. I was looking all over for a Christmas cookie bag and couldn't find one, and I just didn't have the oomph to make one. I didn't have the fabric to make it, and I wasn't shopping. So anyways, I got this from DotDotGooseDesigns because I have several gingerbread patterns from Shannon Christine Designs and Stitching with the Housewives that I can add to this. This is the bag. Isn't it just cute? So this is from DotDotGooseDesigns. And I put this back in here, or I'll just set this down. I can put it back in a minute. The other thing there was, you could get for the cookie exchange a pack from Lady Dot Creates, as well as this paddle. So I ordered the paddle. This is for finishing. This is April Whitaker Taylor from HomesteadNeedleworks. You can find her on Etsy at HomesteadNeedleworke with an E at the end. And on Instagram, it's April in Alabama, all one word. Isn't that paddle just so cute? She has lots of cute finishing boards and things. So I will definitely be ordering from her again. And it came in this buffalo check plaid bag or envelope, which I just love. You can tell my voice is just about gone, so I am just about done. This is from Lady Dot Creates, and I haven't opened it yet. I waited for you guys. They kept selling out. I don't think they were expecting us to all want to do this, but everybody wanted to do it. So if you're a part of this, just have patience. Like I said, my fabric hasn't come yet from Stephanie, but it will, and yours will too. And they're trying to, they might wait another week. They're catching up for Christmas, but after that, they will probably re-releasing them again. I don't know if the pattern is available or if Kathy Hands-On Design will wait maybe until Christmas in July kind of a thing to release that pattern. I am not sure. The stitch along is definitely over. This is I think it's 6 yards of fabric, and they designed it so you can choose to give you 3 different options to choose for the finishing, and their colors I love, so I'm excited for that. And then I also ordered, this is a finishing trims and charms, snips and threads, I don't know, kit pack. It had little scissors and a little sewing machine, a button, and a measuring tape. So I just thought that was so, and some ribbon and baker's twine. So cute. So that is all I have to share for that. Now let me just talk a little bit. Try to make this quick. Oh, okay. I got to get through this. If not, I'll pause and take a little. In fact, let me just pause for a minute and then I'll be back. Sorry about that. It's very frustrating to me that my body just isn't quite doing what it should do. But I want to share with you. This is one last thing I just saw sitting on my desk that I want to share with you. Priscilla and Chelsea from Stitching with the Housewives shared this. It's in their Amazon shop. Oh, there's just, I was looking for the buttons. There's just buttons on the middle. Isn't that the cutest little thing? So they attached this like to the bottom of that paddle I just showed you. Something like that. Isn't that a cute way to finish? And my hope and goal for next year is to have a little tree in here and have some of my ornaments I've started stitching put onto this tree in here that kind of go with this beach, the beach theme or the beach colors. Get that coastal vibe. Okay, so the last thing is one of my plans. I haven't finalized all of them. I'm not sure. I have time to think, but then I get tired. For next year though, and the reason I want to tell you, like I said, you have to sign up by December 31st. And it's the No New Starts group on Facebook. I'll see if I can put a link, but I don't know that I can. I don't know if I can link to Facebook here on YouTube, but I can try. But look up No New Starts or find me on Facebook and then I can message you that way. But the group started as just a No New Starts. You just work on your whips all throughout the year. But they made some adaptations, and I think one of them I'm going to be able to do. The premise, like I said, is to have no new starts. There will be prizes at the end of the year. I think they have a couple of different events they do. And I think it was mainly started for people that do the heaven and earth design, the full coverage, big old projects, that kind of a thing to motivate to work on it. And those that have a lot of whips. I don't have my stats yet for, I need to go and look through and add it up. There wasn't a lot done between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'll tell you that much. But I got a lot done this past year. So let me, oh, I'm missing my book. I grabbed the wrong one. I actually started a new book. Is it down here? Oh, my chair squeaks. Is that upside down? You can see there's just the ones that are highlighted left in this first book from mostly 2020, one thing before 2020. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have just 7 things that are pre this year, 2021. So, I don't know how many whips I have. I would guess around 40. But I didn't want to get all of those whips done before I could start anything new. The way they set it up is if you're doing a series, as long as it's all on the same piece of cloth, linen or Lugana or Aida or whatever you're doing, as long as it's on the same cloth, it counts as one project. But if you split it up, the way I've done my calendar crates and my sampler of the month, those are each separate things. So I wouldn't be able to finish, if I did the traditional way, I wouldn't be able to finish those samplers of the month and calendar crates unless I started them before New Year's Eve. I wouldn't be able to finish them until I got every other WIP done. And that's not the way I want to do it. I want to, for me, it's an unfinished series, even though it's on different pieces of cloth. So the second option is 22 in 22, and that is to have no more than 22 WIPs going at a time. You cannot start something new unless you free up one of those spaces, and you don't have to fill them up to start with. You can do it as you go along throughout the year. And so I've been able to get 2 of those albums. You only have to have 1 album up. So this is something that you could do if you wanted to just start. You have to read the rules, because I could be wrong. I've read them a couple times, but I'm a little fuzzy up here. But you set your album. You have to, if you finish a WIP, you can replace it with a new one, but you have to have 200 stitches before you add it to your album, and it has to be the same size, and they have a way of calculating that. You basically add the height and the width divided by 2, that gives you a number, and then there's a range. So small is under 100. I think large is like it's up to 250, 150 to 250 or something. Look at the instructions, look at the rules, they'll tell you. And I'll tell you in a future video too. I just don't have that breakdown list with me right now. So you pick at least one project, you show what the project is, whether it's a small to BAP project, and then a picture of where you are at the end of this year. So that's why it has to be done before midnight on New Year's. So I am still working on those. I have a couple of, like I said, I've got, I think 2 albums up already, although I don't know if I added my pictures. I've started taking pictures. I will probably have at least 5 WIPs to start with out of the 22, and one of them that I started was the calendar crates January. So I put 200 stitches in it, and I put the small on the same piece. I haven't cut it yet. That way it counts as one piece for this particular challenge, although I have it written separately in my cross stitch journal, because to me it's just the way my mind works. It's a little bit, different. And then, like I said, you can add a new start, but you need to have 200 stitches, which is basically, you know how the cross stitch patterns are in like 10 by 10 squares. So 10 by 10 squares, 100. So 2 of those 10 by 10 squares would be enough to be a new start, to add to this WIP. And then there's one other category, which is work your WIPs. And that is, so I guess if you did more than 22, you drop into the work your WIPs. Or if you're working just, maybe you need to restart, maybe you did one of the other things you need to restart because you don't like it, you get one freebie, so you can still stay in the group and still be eligible for prizes, but you're no longer in the no new starts because you restarted it, and that drops you into the work your WIPs category. And those things I'm a little bit fuzzy on, but I'm gonna just jump in and try. And I've got, they just said I need to have that album up with my name on it and then my WIPs. So I have those 2, at least 2 albums in there. And so that's what I'll be working on for the rest of this week, to have it up on Saturday. And it's kind of changing, well, what am I going to do? Because I thought about doing the 12 by 12 that Kea Bee did last year. She and Pam of Just Keep Stitching are doing like every hour from noon until New Year's. They start on New Year's Eve, from noon until midnight they start, or maybe it's 11 p.m. They start one new project and work on it for an hour. So I thought about doing that, but that again, I thought, how am I going to work that with the no new starts? And really I'm thinking, I'm probably too tired to do that anyway, so I might just have one New Year's Eve start and I'll just take a picture and post that. So what you'll see, that will kind of change what I'm showing next year, I think, if I keep up with this. But that way I can work in season, so I can have just my winter, some of my Christmas things I'm carrying over, and my winter on there. And then as we move into as I finish those calendar crates and samplers of the month, I can add new ones into that album. And then when I get the love and the Valentine's stuff, I can start something and put in there, or do one of my WIPs from last year and put it in there. But I don't have to put all my fall ones in until we get closer to fall time. So I can finish these winter and spring and summer projects and then put the fall in. So we'll see how that works. And I hope I'm understanding it correctly. But work your WIPs on Facebook. I think it's called No New Starts. And like I said, I'll try and put the link down below, but you can reach out to me. I am Heather North on Facebook. There's a picture right now of me and my husband. I might change it to just me so you can find me a little easier. But you can message request me on Facebook. I'll try and remember to check that, and between now and New Year's, so you can try and start. And they're pretty active right now, because you have to have those albums up or they will cut you out of the group, because they're serious. This is not a lurker group. This is a do it. And I think Dena from Half Stitch Cross Stitch is where I first heard about this, and I was trying to figure it out, but then I couldn't find the group. Well, it's because once the year starts, it starts and you're in it, and you're only the people that are in it. So so that's what I'm planning. I'm not sure about WIPGO yet. I have time to think about that. Jessie Marie has called the first 2 numbers. I am thinking about just putting things in as the year goes, but I don't know. Like I said, I still have a few more days. She's very much more flexible in her group, but this other group is, you know, and I want to get things done, and hopefully we'll see how it goes, but hopefully focus more on getting my projects FFO'd this year, because you can see there's one right there and there's one over there. I love having the FFOs up, so that's what I want to work on. So with that, I am going to let you go, take a break, do some, I can't take deep breaths, but try to take deep breaths. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I am looking forward to seeing what the new year brings. I will have 2 more videos up in the next couple of weeks is my hope, and then we'll go back to my regular sharing what I got, my haul, my WIPs, my finishes, and all that all together in one video. You will see I didn't have a ton of haul, and what I did I got kind of for Christmas, but you'll see the biggest things for haul would be the 3 new project bags I got. And then fabric would be the other thing. And you'll see that as the year goes on, because I'll have projects in them and I'll have projects started on them. So for now, I'm just going to say goodbye. Have a happy, safe new year. If I don't have a video up before the new year, be careful, be safe out there. If you live in this area, stay home until the snow melts. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.